Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerd BS. I'm glad you could join us. I'm Alan, and I'm joined by the one and only Chris.
Yeah, I'm back, baby. I'm back.
And some other guy. Who's the other guy? What's up, Kyle?
Womp womp. It's me.
Yeah. Tomas can't join us tonight. I think his dog's still not doing so good. So hopefully he will be back someday in the future. Not be too ominously.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, hopefully soon. I'm hoping his dog feels better soon.
Best wishes to the pup.
Yeah. So all things go towards that. But until then, we could talk about more fun stuff. So how I know you're playing a game right now, Chris. So how is that new Diablo season? Because apparently I keep getting buzzed about it. Is it brand new? Because I was seeing some things.
Yeah, season 4 just started, I believe, 2-3 weeks ago, and it goes all the way through August. So it's just started, but it's fantastic. They finally gave my barbarian some love, and what I mean by that is that every class does well late game, but it's that early game grinding where you feel like you have some value unless you're min-maxing everything. It just felt like some of the classes were drab, like you didn't want to play it unless you had a squad of people to push you through some levels or early game stuff. So they did a really good job of reworking a lot of stuff and the way the game flows so that everyone has an opportunity to be successful early and you don't get necessarily burnt out with having to grind out, to level 50, which is, in game. So it's been really good. Yeah, so they kind of expedited the process and gave everyone the opportunity to be successful early on, so that you didn't feel like you had to do something in order to be successful. It's like, if I want to go left, I can go left. If I want to go right, I can go right. But it's like, if you're playing this class, you have to go left. And you have to stay on the left hand side until X, Y, and Z. And you're like, by the time I get there, I'm bored. I don't want to do it anymore. So they did a great balancing of the game, and it's been very addicting, so much so that I'm currently playing as we speak. And I have a little bit of shame, but not a lot of shame because, games.
Yeah.
Shame. Where's that shame gift? I need to give it to him. Shame. Shame.
Shame on you.
What about you, Kyle? You been playing anything fun? I know you got trips coming up.
Yeah, I have a couple things. First, I'll start with the sad news. My backup Dreamcast has been sold.
Oh no! Oh,
yeah,
sold. Okay.
Yeah.
My man went to like fried or something, and then you're like, it's sold.
I made money.
Yeah,
more money.
So it works great. Sorry. So here's what happened. I came across. I got a bunch of stuff from a buddy. He's moving and sold me a bunch of consoles, and one of them was a Dreamcast. So I was like, well, I got to test it. So I brought it in the house, put it in the guest room, and several hours later, I'm
sure Melissa loved that. I'm sure Melissa loved that.
Oh yeah. There's literally wires coming out of the drawers and stuff, and yeah, she had a few comments. But yeah, several hours and then days and then a couple weeks later, it stayed, and I burned a bunch of games for it just to test it, right?
Test it out, yeah.
Yeah. So I unlocked all the characters on Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And I
as a farewell tribute to your Dreamcast.
Well, I think I lost a memory card that had all the characters.
Yeah,
so
I was wondering about that, because I know those Dreamcasts are basically little PCs even when they came out. But can you just hook up a flash drive to it or something? Or do you have to use the disc still?
You can mod it to do that. It takes it takes a good amount of work to do that. But burning the games has become so easy. It takes 10 minutes, and you don't need a swap disk or anything anymore.
Are you incriminating yourself? Should we be recording this right now?
This is for all backup games.
This is a little dead right now. I mean, I think Sega's going to go, wait a minute.
No.
Why aren't you on eBay buying games?
No. These are all backup games. These are I own all these games out rightfully. But this was just for testing as well. So anyways, it's sold. Yeah. I had it sitting up there for a few months. And so this happens every time. I kid you not. I'll put something for sale And then like after like 2 months, I'm like, well, maybe I'll just keep it. And then like within the week it sells. I'm like, oh, when I actually want it.
It's like that good luck Chuck curse, right?
Once
you start enjoying it, then it gets sold.
I was doing that with my Star Wars cards when I was selling a lot of cards. I was noticing one when it sell, and I was like playing with it. I was like, oh, maybe I'll just keep it. It looks really cool. And then I look at my phone and it's sold. It's like, oh, okay, well, never mind. You're not as cool as I thought.
Yeah, it's like someone's watching me, right? Like, oh, he's actually enjoying it. Buy it. Hurry, buy. Truman Show. I'm actually playing Uncharted on the Vita. I forgot the name of it. But it's the only Uncharted I haven't played yet. And,
I still haven't played that one either. I was hoping it was going to come to the service. Like, I don't have it right now, but if they put it on there, maybe I'd think twice about playing. They
would have to.
Are we going by the fact that you said you're playing on the Vita? Like,
no, I know.
No one's batting the eye about.
I
this,
know.
That.
Dude, I'm glad you said that.
All right, okay,
every once in a while, I go look for Vitas because I'm thinking about it because I love my PSP, but the screen, I won't lie, the PSP screen sucks. It's pretty bad. When I hold it in my hands, I'm like, really need something else. And so I've thought about getting a Vita just because it's just a step up, and it's got the OLED, right? So I was like, well, at least it would look pretty. I have looked into it just to see how hard it would be to upgrade the PSP screen, but I haven't gone that far yet. So I don't know.
Not worth it. You could put PSP games on the Vita. Yeah, it's not. PSPs are cool, but they're not what they used to be. And yes, Chris, I'm playing the PlayStation Vita. To put that game, though, going back to Uncharted, there's a lot of touchscreen and the touchpad in the back. Stuff you have to do. So they'd have to completely remaster that game to put it on anything else.
How did they do? Did you ever play the Zelda games on the Wii, the Wii U? I mean, the DS ones. How did they work? Because those were Spirit Tracks, and I don't remember the other one was called, but those were heavily. They used a lot of the bells and whistles. They
have it all on the Wii U pad.
You can't fold it though.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I don't know how that works. I never got that far on the Wii U.
You can fold anything with a little bit of force.
Isn't that? Yeah, maybe. But maybe you just put it close to the sensor bar. I don't know.
They might have a button. They might have literally made a button for that one game that just says "close the clamshell" or something. It's just like a little close button. Yeah. Who knows?
Which was a very clever puzzle, by the way, because it didn't outright say it. Yeah. But you had to close the DS to solve the puzzle.
Yeah, I still haven't played those ones. I'll have to play them someday.
That's almost like the putting the controller in a different port type stuff.
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I miss that.
Some really cool ideas.
Yeah.
I remember on WarioWare for the GameCube, it said in the instruction manual that if you're losing to your opponent, feel free to pull their controller plug out of the console. And so I did that to my brother once, just to be like, well, the manual said I could do it. It said I could do it. So
it's printed.
It's printed in the manual because it's WarioWare.
That's awesome.
So it's like if you're losing, just unplug the controller and you don't have to worry about it.
That's great. I think I have that game right now for sale. I'm gonna go look.
Okay.
Later.
I'm probably just making it up, and he's gonna prove me wrong. So wait a minute, I got the manual right here.
Actually, sir.
Sir.
How about you, Alan? Have you been playing anything?
I was gonna move on. I'm just playing Fallout 76. I've been playing it a lot. It's starting to burn out a little bit, but I've been enjoying it. It's been really fun. My only issue is it's not crossplay, and it bugs the crap out of me, which is really annoying because my buddy or my brother-in-law friend, same thing. He's been playing them. He's been getting caught up with the games, and he wanted to play 76, and so he was excited that we were playing. And then I was like, "Well, sorry, buddy, we are playing the PS5, so you're gonna have to play by yourself," which is sad. But
I'm not starting over.
Well, I don't have an Xbox, so I mean,
so you're part of the problem, huh? All right.
I'm part of the problem. Yeah, I switched over to PlayStation. PlayStation 4 is when I switched over.
So you were part of the.
technically I
Microsoft
was
group.
Xbox 360, and then I jumped to PC for a small window of time before I figured out that I'm too lazy for PC. So I
Weren't you
went
the
back
one
to
just saying
PS4.
what's going on with the Xbox? You're the
I
you're the
was.
description of the problem. You're the problem. sir.
You know what?
Look at the
That's on them. That's on them at this point. Make games. That's what I say. But I was moving to that. But there are problems with the Xbox. I was actually going to ask you, Chris, are you playing Diablo on PC? Or are you playing it on Xbox?
Absolutely playing on the PC. Absolutely point and click all the way.
You know what? I couldn't stand that on Diablo 3. I was having an issue with that with the clickies. I can't do the clickies. I had to switch over to controller because of that. So
it was just.
yes.
I guess I think it's better with certain classes. Certain classes do well on the controller.
Probably.
It's not too terrible. But a barbarian class on the controller is awful. Like
really?
It's not. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's something about it. It's a little bit different with the controller when you're like aiming for like a spell or whatever, but everything is physical contact. I have to go and click on an individual like enemy. I don't know. It was just no thanks. Point and click all the way.
They do have the option though on PC though for the controller, I think, right?
Yes, they do. Yeah, most
used
games
to not.
are. Most, I would say, 80% of games you can plug a controller in now. Like no matter what you're doing on a PC, if you want to plug a controller in, you can. And I think that also contributes to the reason why Xbox is doing what they're doing. They're like, screw this, we're just going to put games out on Game Pass, which is available on PC. And if you want to plug a controller in, go for it.
Yeah.
Have they?
Have at thee.
Have they like? Are all the games on the PC that are available on console yet? Because I know that for a while there wasn't, but I think
believe anything that's in their Game Pass archive that currently is on PC. Like so, whatever's on. Yeah.
I know they're making that transition. I just don't know if it happened.
No, I and then whatever's on my Xbox, because Game Pass is all one cloud that I own, right? My Game Pass cloud is in the sky somewhere. I can pull from that cloud with my Xbox or pull from that cloud with my my computer. So if I download on my Xbox, technically I own it or have it, and I can pull it to my computer. So it's actually kind of nice.
They've been doing they really invested heavily into streaming, and I think they're trying to really move to that direction, because I know there was for a while, and people were getting scared because there was for a while where they were hinting at they would love to make basically the Xbox just be like an Amazon Fire Stick or a Roku, where you could just kind of plug it into your TV and it just streams whatever game you want. So that way they don't. Yeah. That way they're selling a service, not a console.
Right, and I believe that's what they're doing, man. They're putting so much money into Game Pass and everything. Just like I was saying earlier, when we're off behind the scenes with Black Ops 6, like that's a huge title for them to throw onto Game Pass, right? That's one of those games where they just rinse and repeat, and it's a money press. Like if we just make it, they're gonna buy it. So they're gonna buy the hardware. But they're like, no, what? We're not doing it this time. We're gonna make it virtual. Which is crazy to me, because that game it's like a Madden or a NBA 2K. It's the same game. You just rinse and repeat it, and everyone buys it over and over again. Infinite money glitch, and they're like, you know what? We didn't. You always think that people are like, I'm not going to buy that. It's just Call of Duty. I'm not going to buy it. But everyone ends up buying it, and
a lot of people do. Yeah,
right.
Sure.
They just keep doing it. But now, Xbox and Microsoft's like, screw that. We're going to end the infinite money glitch when it comes to hardware. We're just going to put it on Game Pass. Everyone gets it right away. You don't have to worry about buying it. You can either download it or you don't.
Yeah,
it's crazy to me. Why would you? Why? That's your golden goose, baby. Like people are going to buy that game no matter what we do. There will always
are you a big
COD.
Are you a big Call of Duty player? Because I don't really
not.
know a lot of people who are personally. I know I'm obviously in a bubble, and the people I know, they're also in a bubble because we're not the audience. But you're into it. Okay, so are the current Call of Duty games crossplay?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I don't think there's any battle royale that's not. I think every major battle royale is cross compatible. You can play console and PC at the same time, or vice versa.
is it considered a battle royale now? Because I thought it was like individual arenas or something. It is? Okay.
I mean, they still have the they have their arena matches where you're doing like team deathmatch, search and destroy, whatever. But they still have their Warzone. Warzone is their biggest claim right now. So is their BR.
So when they do this transition, do you think is it still coming to PlayStation at all? Or are they actually making it exclusive?
No, it's going to be. They've talked about that.
I know. Okay.
There's why? Because they're still getting money from you buying it on PlayStation.
I would argue that too, because I was even talking to my brother-in-law about that. Was that I was making a case for potential for the Halo Infinite. Is that what it's called? The Halo game, the massive game, the free game. I was saying that they're bringing these games over to PlayStation. I feel like that game is somewhat on course at some point, because that's a game that relies on people playing it. And so they need more people to play it. So I feel like that would be a really good move. It'd be weird to see Halo on PlayStation. Yeah. But I feel like it'd be a good idea.
Which is something we talked about earlier before we recorded. Was it sounds like they're going the Sega route. And obviously they have, Papa Microsoft behind them. That it will never truly be like that. But there's also rumors, and they're just rumors, that they might let third-party companies build Xboxes, like you guys were talking about, like the Roku stick,
the Steam box.
Yeah,
they're happening.
And it's kind of what Sega did. You had a Panasonic Sega CD. You had a JVC Sega CD for a while because they just went. I think they got scared, which is kind of what it sounds like Microsoft is doing. They feel like they're in a little bit of panic mode because they bought all those companies. There's no games. There's no new Fallout. There's no new Skyrim. Whatever the Elder Scrolls. There's no Elder Scrolls coming out, and they're like, we got to do something.
They did Starfield.
Yeah. So.
But and it underperformed.
That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it did.
I mean, that was supposed to be the system seller, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the hope, and it definitely did not.
It's like, you want Skyrim, but it's space? Like, absolutely. Like, oh, this is not Skyrim at all. It's like, no, it's not.
Best I could do is No Man's Sky, but worse.
We have the Steam Deck out route. I'm going to kind of do a little bit here because with Xbox doing a soft step out of the console realm in a different way.
Okay, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Do you think so? With the Steam Deck's popularity, the portable Steam Deck, one of the things I was thinking about as I was looking at all the Steam games, I feel like it's a really good idea that they're putting these Steam Deck certified tokens on stuff. Do you think now is the time for Steam to make a Steam box, a console again, but with that type of verify system? So that way it caters to the console market that doesn't want to deal with a PC. It's somewhere in the middle.
Isn't the Steam Deck selling like hotcakes still?
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking about it. Yeah, because of that.
I think they double down on the Steam Deck and just make another better one of those.
Just keep upgrading it. And just kind of. Do they have a cradle for the Steam Deck? I'm looking at my Switch right now.
They do.
Okay, they do. Okay.
Yeah. Because I want one. I haven't got one yet.
I
But
have a decent laptop right now, but I keep thinking about it too for probably the same reasons you are.
If they were to make a console, I don't want it.
Why?
Not a console.
I don't know. I love the Switch. I want to lay down and play my games while I'm halfway asleep. So
I get it. Having the Switch, I feel like the Switch does have that step up. It's the reason why I primarily play on the PS5 is just power. The PS5 can just do more.
Right, the Vita guys.
The Vita. But if the PS5 had a port, or if the Switch or the Switch 2 or whatever was as powerful as a PS5 and also portable, yeah, I totally would say that's gonna be my ideal place to play games for sure.
Yeah, I think that's where the market is because there's no real handheld anymore, right? It's all it has to be both. because of the Switch. The Switch changed everything, and so
it's hybrid.
And so Sony did a smart move. I thought it was dumb, but it turned out to be smart. Was with their Portal, which was just the streaming.
Was it smart?
Handheld.
Is it doing as well as I think it is? I don't know, because I've seen some things that people are like hunting them down.
Yes.
I've heard some poor receptions from it too.
Oh yeah,
the reviews doing really well.
But that's, Chris asked earlier, what's your definition of success? Well, they're completely sold out. They're always sold out. Yeah. They have to keep making them. The demand is high. The reviews are mediocre, yeah. But I mean, to me, that's like if your product is selling out before you can make it, you're doing something right.
It's successful, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want it, but people do. Some people, a lot of people do.
Right.
I would have wanted it if it actually like connected to the PlayStation or even wasn't its own thing at a certain aspect. But because of what it is, no, thank you. I don't have good enough internet for it. It's really my problem. I don't have good enough internet.
Yeah.
So it won't work for me.
So let me hash this out. Like, I actually want it, but my internet sucks. All right.
I
said it out loud. It's like I already said it.
If functionally, it would work for me. That sounds great, but it won't. So I hate it. And I'm going to cross my arms and be annoyed.
He's like, fine, the truth is out. It's actually my internet. It has nothing to do with it. I would love to have it.
And
my set up, I can't.
For me, I already do it. I just use my phone and a PS4 controller, and I play on my. Sometimes I play PS5 that way.
You're the only. Obviously you're not the only person in the world. You're the only person that I know at a like an intimate level, like my brother, that will sacrifice
quality.
For just absolute pure leisure.
Laziness.
You're like, not laziness, just leisure. Like you're like, I will gladly go down to 30 frames a second.
Dude, I was playing Helldivers on that thing.
Completely like horizontal. Like if I gotta drop 30 frames to get horizontal, I'm in.
Sold.
Lock me in.
Sold. So you're absolutely right, and most of the time that is true. Every once in a while, it's because the TVs are being used in my house now that there's little ones running amok.
Don't blame the niece
no.
and nephew. No, don't do that.
I said once in a while.
You've been doing it long before.
No, listen. On Friday nights they sleep. We all sleep in the living room. So I'm going to play a game, but I can't just turn on the PS5. They're right next to it. I tried actually. I tried once, and they just watched, and my wife was mad. Turn it off. So that's why I played the Vita too. So, anyways.
You're the guy that puts the blanket over his head and plays underneath under the blanket.
Shh, quiet. Yeah, I gotta get my headphones. So I think we solved it though. Xbox has no handheld or anything. I mean, you can connect. Yeah, they don't have anything portable, nothing official.
No.
So that's that's where they're dropping the ball. I think. I think about it. A portable Xbox? You guys in?
Honestly,
no.
I'm not really into it because of Xbox, but at the same time, I think I agree with you for a certain extent because they could also, if they're focusing on streaming, make something like the PlayStation device. Yeah. Or the Steam Deck. Well, I was thinking more of the PlayStation device because it'd be cheaper,
phone, right? Can't you do that on your phone?
I think you can already, which is basically the same interface on the little PlayStation 5 device. Is just that app, but its own device.
Right, and and that's what I'm saying. Like you could have done that you could do that with PS4 years ago before the PS5 came out, but because they made an official quote unquote thing portal, like people want it, and it's like it gives another point of street cred for Sony because they have this. Because if you have it, nobody else has it, right? And Xbox has nothing like that, right? Like, when I sell on this happened the other week when I was selling video games because I don't even sell Xbox games anymore. Like they're in the buy it now if you just want to make me an offer, but I don't put them up for auction. Because nobody,
I don't have time. I don't have time for this,
dude. Nobody bids on them. Like they'll go for less than what I bought them for, And in the chat, people are like just hating on it, and I'm like, well, it's a good console, but I don't play it. And they're like, see, prove my point. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Like, yeah, I play the PS5 and the Switch more. So.
I won't lie, we definitely have some nostalgia for it. When the Xbox 360 was a fantastic system, I played so much games on that thing.
Well, and
I
still
those have it.
Funny enough, those games are the ones that are selling now because they're closing the store, the online store,
and that makes sense. Yeah,
dude, games you couldn't get rid of. I couldn't give away some of those Xbox games are going for hundreds of dollars now. It's so stupid. I hate it.
You hate it, but you're making money now, aren't you?
Well, some of those games are already sold for pennies.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay, you're having the remorse. I've been there. Yeah. I've been there. I've sold. I'm looking at cards, and I was selling cards, and then like 2 weeks later, they're like spiking up in price. I'm like, oh my god, what happened?
Yeah, I got $30 for games, and now they're $150. It's like, what? Oh. Why did nobody tell me? And now I'm learning. I'm learning to read the market a little bit better. Mm-hmm. It happened when the PS3 tried to shut down. It happened with their games too, but they backed off, and then all the games came back down to earth. But
no, we're just kidding. Just kidding. Don't
yeah. I don't know. Maybe they had a bunch of old copies of their games they needed to resell on eBay.
I know the Square Enix store is like the craziest one because every once in a while, at least a couple years ago, there was like still DS games and stuff on there, and I was like, "What the frick is this nonsense?"
You could buy PS1 games from Square Enix.
Yeah,
brand new.
I don't know where they just have this warehouse somewhere that they just have all these old games.
No, they reprint them.
They reprint them.
The
PlayStation games.
Yes. Now it's the greatest hits version with the green label on it. They don't. Yeah. Nobody wants those.
I can't believe they reprint it though. I don't.
That's why none of those Final Fantasy games are worth like. I mean, some of the old ones go a little bit higher, like 50 maybe. But...
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, they don't usually get too crazy.
No, maybe the like collector's boxes or whatever they did, but yeah.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like you said, the green label and stuff like that. So maybe
those are
maybe onto something. I don't know, because I would know. I spend all my time buying and selling games, so I would know more than you.
Well, yeah, yes, indeed.
But
there's one more thing.
What's
Final
up?
Fantasy VII Remake. Mm-hmm. They did a version. It didn't have it on the disc. It just came with a voucher for the DLC. It's called Integrate on PS5. It just they printed, and it has a different artwork. But if you have that game, that particular one is like $150. If you haven't opened it, it's over $200. So, but it'll drop eventually because the DLC codes will expire and they won't be worth anything. But it's a crazy market. You guys should get into it with me.
I'm good. I think I'll be all right.
You come over.
I could be a private investor. I'll if you do all the legwork, I can fund.
I could do that.
I don't know about physically doing that.
Fair enough. Alan has come over.
Yeah, I have some games I want to unload that I'll probably do, but I don't know about buying games to sell them. I feel like that's a lot. But
fair enough.
More props to you though for doing it. It's a cool idea.
Thanks.
I think you have a good time doing it. So
yeah,
which is good. But anyways, I think we're moving on to what was it? Games we want to play this summer, right, Kyle? Why don't you lead us into this?
I mean, officially it's summer for me. I mean, it's summer every day for me. But my kid has finished school, his first year of school, and my wife finishes work. Yes. Congrats. Man, it went by so fast. It's insane. Mm-hmm. And everybody always says it, but you really, man, it feels like yesterday he started. And my wife finishes work this week. So for me, summertime is the time when I get to finish a game that I've been putting off, usually like a bigger, more involved one. Like I said earlier, Uncharted's taking way longer than I thought it would, which is great because it feels like I get my money's worth, but at some point in this part, of life. I need shorter games. So
don't you love that? I've had that happen too, where I pick up a game and I'm just like, this will be easy, this will be quick, it'll be short, and then I end up. It starts overstaying its welcome, even though you're enjoying it. You're like, I thought I was going to be past this by now.
Well, because
I was late there. It's like, oh my god!
I mean,
get me out.
If you played exactly, if you played any Uncharted game, they're all fun. Most of it is a good time, but like, you never know when it's going to quite end, and sometimes you feel like it is. Like there's a big climax, and they're like, oh, they went to a new location. Okay, that was a weird transition. Oh, we're starting all over. Okay, very good. And so I should be close to finishing that. I feel like it. Maybe, who knows? Maybe there's another 12 hours. But so, as an example, for me this summer, I want to finish Spider-Man 2, which, by the way, I did just purchase that a couple minutes ago on the collector's edition with the 18 inches of Venom, according to Cheap Ass Gamer on Twitter. Yeah, so that Venom will be in my house soon. I had to buy the $5 expedited shipping because because we're leaving next Monday, and I don't want that package just sitting in front of my house for a week. So I had to get the 3-day shipping. And it was only $5. So
I just want the statue. You talked about it, and I looked it up. Venom's one of my favorite heroes, anti-heroes, however you want to call him. He's by far one of my favorites.
I know.
I just want the statue. That's all. I want the game. Fuck the game.
Are you looking?
Sorry, the game. Sorry, my bad, guys. Yeah, my bad. Alan.
Yeah, we'll edit that out.
Or
not. We'll get right on that.
Oh, no, wait. Yeah, there you go.
I have one of those.
Sorry. Yes,
you have absolutely. Nice.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We need that. We need that here because we usually don't cuss, but I think it's time we start.
This is it. This is the time.
Now, yeah, right now is the time. 18 images of Venom will change you, won't it?
Oh my god!
Will change a man real quick, huh?
Real fast. Oh my gosh! The older I get, the more I want to cuss. All right. So, anyways, that's the game I want to finish by the time the next school year rolls around. So, like around August. I have a couple others, but I want to hear from you guys. Are there any games that you guys want to finish this summer?
Well, I got a couple games I want to finish, but I think I'll start with finishing the Fallout 76 story. I think is what I'm focusing on.
Yeah, nice.
Right
story
now.
In that game?
Yeah, there's actually quite a bit of story. I have done like the main part, but there's like a bunch of side stuff now, like a Brotherhood of Steel quest and all sorts of other stuff. They're actually usually pretty in depth. I will say like the choices and stuff aren't as massive or interesting as they are in the other Fallout games. Usually, as I explained to my brother, there's usually 4 options for your dialogue. You have the top one that's to progress the story. You have the second one that gives you a little more information. You have the third one that gives you a little more information, and the fourth one that you leave. And that's it. Those are the options usually. You rarely have like a real dialogue tree or anything like that. It's usually you're just learning more things, but then really going to pick the same thing to go through the story, so it doesn't really matter. But it is still interesting. And so I've been enjoying it. So I'm working on that. So I'll start with that one. What about you, Chris?
Well, you mentioned one before. Is there an end to Diablo 4?
Never.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes and no, right? You can beat it.
You can. So level 100 is max level, and then throughout that you're pushing Paragon, which is just like leveling. And then there's a new system. I don't know if it's new to Diablo 4. It's called the Pit, and it just gets progressively hard. And I think max level on the Pit is like 101 or level 100 in the Pit, which is just like craziness, right? So I think that's when you officially can say you've beat the game. You can't go any further, right? You've reached all 18 inches. You've reached the base. No, I'm kidding. I think I couldn't get away from that.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. No, but yeah, I think it's called the pit. It's like an in-game, what's it called? Gauntlet. That's a better word for it. And the better you do, the stronger you get. You go further and further into the pit. And I believe the bottom, so to speak, is like hit level 100 or 101 or something like that. It's pretty aggressive. So if I want to just continuously bash my head against the wall and figure out how to get 1% stronger to move further down, that I guess that would be the narrative of the summer.
So is that your goal though? Is to
Absolutely not.
I mean, but like to beat the pit or to like technically finish?
My goal is always to, but I think I'm actually just enjoying it. Like I was saying earlier, they gave my favorite class, Barbarian. I love the Barbarian class. They gave it some love. And I've played every single Diablo that's ever existed, and I've never reached level 100. So to me, reaching 100 is completing the game. In my brain, like if I could achieve that, to say like as a gamer who's gamed my entire life and never got to like one of those peaks, like the peak of that game is just getting to level 100, working your butt off to get there. So to me, if I could do that this summer, that would be fantastic. I should be there in, I don't know, 2 weeks.
2026. Oh, okay.
No.
I know.
No. It's a lot more enjoyable. I actually want to turn the game on, because before, like I said, it just felt like a job. Now I actually want to play the game. So it's cool.
Awesome. Yeah, as it should be, right?
Yeah, I agree.
As most games should be.
So yeah, I think that's where I'm at, honestly. And other than that, I can't think of anything else that I want to see finish, honestly.
Yeah, I've actually come to a point where I don't have to finish games anymore. I think we might have talked about this on another episode, but for a long time, I really felt like I have to, if I start a game and I put any, more than 5 hours into it, I need to finish it. But now it's like, you know what? Especially with, that I can sell games pretty easily. If I don't like a game, it's like, yeah, off you go. Sorry. You're getting shipped out. So
I get that, yeah. I would make it a lot easier. No buyer's remorse, or not as much buyer's remorse.
Not as much. I mean, yeah. If you open the box, you're gonna take a hit. But
it depreciates very quickly, almost worse than a car.
Well, some of them do. Well, if you're talking sports games, for sure, those things drop immediately.
I just got the Family Guy image of him throwing stuff off the boat. Bye. It's like, I'm done. See ya. Just kick him out. Like, I'm done.
Yeah, I got rid of a lot of games and it felt good, because some of them was like, I don't even know why I bought you. I will never be able to play this game. A lot of RPGs, a lot of JRPGs and stuff.
Those ones are huge. Yep, I get that.
Yeah, another one.
Time stinks.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh. Well. One I do want to beat, because I have been enjoying it on the Dreamcast, was Skies of Arcadia. I was just for testing. I put about 20 hours in just to make sure the console is working.
Stress test.
Yeah,
it was 20 hours straight. Okay, all right.
All right. So yeah, I got hooked on Skies of Arcadia, and so that's the other one I want to beat before summer. And I don't know how you guys feel, but I 100% just use a guide now, like on my phone.
It depends. I do it a lot, though, more than I used to, because there is part of me that wants to find it myself, but then I realize I don't have the time to do that.
Yeah.
So
ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. So I'm just like, you know what? But then I do find myself sometimes getting physically frustrated when I can't find something. I'm like, I'm just annoyed now. So I think because I've used guides and stuff so often now that I've crippled myself in a way where I just give up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Just start looking it up.
Yeah. No, I did that when I beat Zelda. I just held off as long as I could, because that game is about just literally walking around and finding, running into stuff and falling in holes and stuff. But there came to a point, like late game, where I was like, I need to get this item or that. And then once I started that, I was like, well, now I can't do anything but use the guide.
Yeah, because you go from it's so much faster. Just look it up.
Dependent.
Yeah, it's like a drug. You're like, just a little taste, just one or two items, no big deal. Yeah, exactly.
Zelda can officially file for their taxes with me as a dependent. It's fine. It is fine. It is fine now, and I accept my role.
Yeah, I accept it. Yeah, for sure. Because it's just you start looking for it on your own again. You're like, what have I been doing with my life? No. Back to the guide.
So I can save 15 minutes by switching to Geico. Like, I don't need to do this. I don't need to wander aimlessly.
That's a good slogan. We could just twist that a little bit somehow. We could sell some guides. So, I mean, especially older games like Skies of Arcadia that they don't have
give you much help. The
accessibility or just ease or hand holding like new games do. Oh,
no,
man.
Old games were diabolical. Those guys used to sit in there making games like, oh, you will suffer. Like there's no way around it.
Yeah, and there's no way. Like there's so many things I would never figure out. Even if I, dedicated my life to these games, like I don't know how people do it.
It does feel that way sometimes.
Like I would have never found that, never. Nor did I want to.
I do the Yakuza games. That's another one I want to get back to the Yakuza games again. I do love those games.
50 of those?
Yeah, 50? I'm still working my way through them. There's not 50, but there's definitely quite a few. I've done 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was working on 5.
I love how
5, 6, 7. Then there's 2 newer ones, and then
there's at least 10, right? There's like 10.
There's at least 10. Yes, for
easily.
sure.
Yeah, like legit. There's 10. Like
like main.
And there's actually more than that because there's still 2 that were never released in America that are only on the PSP as well.
Back to the PSP. I didn't know that actually. I was not.
They're technically. So they're like sub stories. It technically happen, and they still happen. They happen with the Chinese mafia instead of the Yakuza. It's a whole thing, and I guess they play like Def Jam, the fighting game.
Oh, that's dope.
Which is weird. I played it for a bit. Now. Yeah, it's awesome. Definitely interesting. Yes, the only problem was there's a fans translation. At least at the time when I was trying it. It was a bit rough to figure it out. It's like, I'm not sure what buttons, because like they translated everything, but the button prompts are still off. So I couldn't figure out, I had to figure out what buttons to press for certain things. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I learned something today. I didn't even know there was Yakuza on the PSP.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's fan translations for them too if you get really into that rabbit hole, but I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Except for played around with it a little bit. But I do use the guides, little guides on those for the sub stories, just to check them off, just to make sure I get everything as I'm going through. Because I'm always afraid I'm going to be the newer ones, not as much. They seem to make it so you can go back. You can't skip anything, or it's not easy to skip stuff. So they do make it a lot easier to be able to do all the quests later. But a lot of those early ones, like 3, was maddening. You could skip things pretty easily without even realizing it. So I've been on that, checking them off on my phone now to make sure I do all the sub stories.
So are you afraid that you'll meet like a true Yakuza fan and then you won't know about the side stories and they're going to be like,
no, because it's just more for me because I like the side stories. I just want more out of the story, and also a lot of it continues over. And I have a really bad memory anyways, so if I did meet a real Yakuza fan or whatever you're saying, I would still probably be like, oh yeah, I remember that, I think. Even like when I play the next game, there'll be stuff that happens that I have to look up a character or something, because I'm like, wait, is that somebody from before? And I have to look him up, like, oh yeah, he was at that other thing and at one place. So it's just my memory at that point. It's failing me.
Yakuza Con when? When is it?
Yakuza Con when?
Yeah. When are we going? So I can see you school up some Yakuza nerds.
That's going to be game related if you go.
Yeah.
I know. It's like, this is not what I was thinking it was gonna be. Like,
Imagine coming in your shirt with your shirt on and everything, like just ready, and there's oh no, that is not what we expected.
Well, do you guys offer refunds, or I'm just gonna go?
I'm just gonna go.
You know what? I'm just gonna head on out.
That is a loss.
Chalk it up to a donation to the Yakuza clan. You know what I'm saying? That's yeah. I don't think that you want to show up to Yakuza clan.
Yeah. Man. There's one more game I saw you put down, Alan.
Oh yeah, I want to play that game because I loved. Okay, so yeah, let me roll back a little bit. You got me a little excited. Yeah. Mario Thousand Year Door. I really want to get it. I keep seeing it. This was a game that I wanted to play. I didn't really have a GameCube. I had a GameCube for a pretty small window, and I loved Paper Mario, and I actually even went back and replayed Paper Mario not too long ago. But this game kept never getting remade, and I didn't want to play it on GameCube. So now I'm excited because it finally came out, re-released on Switch. But I'm so hesitant on getting it. Like, I want to get it cheaper, but also I'm playing other games right now, so no, it's just kind of rot.
I know a guy. I got a guy.
Yeah, I know you do. Well, if you get a copy, or if see a deal, let me know, because I do want to snag it because I loved that first one, and I've heard nothing but great things about this game. Like, this game is like the true successor to that game. Like, and it's just amazing before it went downhill.
People say, this is where it peaked. Yeah, that's what I've heard too. I haven't played this one either, but I love the one for Nintendo 64. Which was, I think it was just Paper Mario. Is that what it was called?
Just Paper Mario.
Yeah.
They're
both great.
Yeah, and this one was locked on the GameCube for ever until now. So that is also on my list because now I could just lay down and play it. Finally, what I've been dreaming of.
That was the only thing that was holding it back.
So here's the downside to my addiction, my collector's addiction. There was a pre-order bonus that I don't know how I didn't know about this. I missed it. But there was a pre-order bonus where you could get a slipcover, an authentic slipcover from
I know,
Nintendo.
I saw that. I wanted it.
That had the GameCube. Yeah, had the GameCube. Yeah, it's hundreds of dollars just for the cardboard now.
Oh, I'm sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off on your big thing, but yes, I saw pictures of it like yesterday, and I was like, "That was a thing."
Yeah. I don't know. They slipped that one under right past me, right when I was looking at the Venom. Right. Anyways,
at 18 inches just sucked you in, huh?
You know how it goes.
Oh Lord.
So, anyways. I'm a little mad about that, so I'm gonna wait to buy the game itself because
that's a protest.
Until Nintendo emails me,
like we'll get lucky if it goes down to $40, right? This is like a peak game too. This is a really popular game too. So
you're looking $40 will be like the deal of a lifetime for that game.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I never with Nintendo games, it's always like, do you wait at all? You get lucky if there's a sale, but then when I don't wait, or when I don't wait, I usually see it on sale like right afterwards.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you want to play it, just get it.
Exactly.
Trade some games in.
Yeah, I'm still playing 76 right now, so I don't know. I think I'm still in the Fallout mood.
Oh, there's a guy I know called Sky Boston.
Trade some games.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's your door.
All right. I was like, "Hey, what are you talking about?" Like,
I'm gonna put Alan out there a little bit. Last time he came over, so so there was this PSP. It wasn't even a game; it was a video, the Coheed and Cambria thing that he was looking for.
Yeah,
and we had talked about it, and it popped up on eBay, and I saw it, and I bought it for him because he wasn't responding to my text, and I freaked out. And I bought it for him because you were probably working. I don't know.
Yeah, I was working actually. I saw your text and I was like doing something and I like looked down at my phone and I started texting, oh, that's really cool. And then I went back to work and then like later on you said I bought it. I was like, oh shit, I forgot all about that. Like, yes, I wanted it.
The dude on eBay sent me an offer. He like took $10 off and I was like, well, I gotta buy it.
Oh shit, really? Oh yeah, he was desperate.
Yeah, so and every time that game pops up, it's gone pretty quick, or the video. So and I know Chris is one of his favorite things is to watch movies on the PSP, so he'll get a kick out of this.
Absolutely.
So
fantastic. I've already watched a bit of it. It's really fun.
It's like a big music video, really, right?
Yeah, it's a concert. Yeah, it's a big concert they did. That was their first 4 albums, all in one concert, which was like over 4 days.
Holy
so
moly.
yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay, that is pretty cool. And was it on DVD or was it only?
Yeah, it was on DVD and
okay.
and randomly on UMD. And I actually was watching. What maybe even wanted even more is like I was watching one of the documentaries for them, and Claudio, the singer, was just talking about it. He's like, "Oh yeah." Then like I started talking to PlayStation, and they were going to give me a PSP, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." Because they were like making it, and then I was like, "Oh, now I got to get the UMD because this is just all like connected somehow."
Yeah, it is pretty cool. So anyways, I bought him the game and he came over to pick it up, and I was setting up for a Whatnot show. So I had all my games out, and he's just was like a kid in a candy store, man. He's like, what do you got? What do you got over there? How much for this? And I think it was a good thing because your wife was with you, and she was like,
yeah.
She's just like, here's what you could buy, and he's like, yeah, give me this. But you guys bought a couple of gifts for some people and stuff.
Yeah, too. I did really good at my for Mother's Day presents actually, because I got both my sister-in-laws got them really good gifts. So that was one of them too. That was one that was like the shocker gift in a way. It was like, it came out of nowhere. It was like just randomly Doctor Who game.
Yeah,
it was a Doctor Who game because she was like, she got really excited and she's like, I didn't even know there was a game. It's like I didn't either, so I can't guarantee it's any good, but I hope it's fun.
I mean, I know. And you even asked me. I was like, I have no idea. It showed up in the pile, and here it is. So good luck.
She seemed excited. Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
that was good.
Oh, good.
Yeah. That and Divinity Original Sin 2, just because she had it physically.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually a hard one to find.
Oh,
like,
my God.
That's cool.
I had no idea about that one, too. Yeah. Anyways, I'm glad it worked out. My shop's always open for you guys. What you buying?
Yeah.
Some Venom?
Anyways.
You guys want some Venom?
You're just going to slice something into 18 inches and hand it out?
Oh,
Hey, I didn't say 18 inches that time.
No, it's like you slice it up. Like you slice up like a cake and hand it to me.
Yeah. How about 5 inches, but it's thick?
You know, I still haven't played Spider-Man 2 for some reason. I completely forgot it came out.
Do you have it?
Either of them.
I played the other two.
What?
They're great games.
Oh.
I just haven't played the second one.
Yeah.
They came out at a weird time.
No interest, Chris, in those games? They're pretty fun. No interest in playing those?
No.
Not even the Venom one?
I feel like it's just a Easter egg hunt. You're always trying to get collectibles and junk. I watch people. I don't
You're right. You're right. But you don't have to. You could just play the main story.
Yeah, and the main story in those games are like 6 hours. They're not very long.
No, this one especially.
Yeah,
I've heard too.
If you sprint the story, it's like 4.5, 5 hours. Like it's not very long. Those games are not built for that. They're built for you to spend time being Spider-Man. Like you're supposed to go around and stop crime and find cool things, and like it's not meant to just run the story. You're supposed to just be. It's like a simulator. Like you're supposed to be Spider-Man.
The costumes. But the costumes.
That too. And collecting the costumes. Like I said, it's just a big old Easter egg hunt. Just go find everything.
Now that you're saying that, why isn't there another Batman game? Like what?
So
They
I got
they did the one with the
Suicide Squad.
No,
Yeah.
Knights. Gotham
Oh,
Knights. That was
Gotham Knights.
That was like that game's almost 10 years old now, isn't it?
Gotham
That's
Knight?
getting really.
No,
yeah.
it's
No,
five.
sorry, I'm thinking of Arkham Knight, not Gotham Knights.
Arkham Knight, yeah, is probably 10 years old.
Yeah, that was the original that started bringing the Batman
so
games
Gotham
back,
Knights was that weird shooting game that doesn't exist anymore, right?
No,
like
that
No.
was Arkham City.
Oh
but
my god,
multiplayer.
that was the one with the Bat Kids.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Yep.
that game is on clearance right now.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
But there's no Batman. Like,
So they are making a Batman game, but it's coming to
Yeah.
VR. So I got excited
that
about it,
sounds
and then I
kinda
heard that
cool.
part, and I was like, "Oh, that's dumb."
yeah,
No.
Batman. I wanna jump off a building.
they have like a really short Arkham Batman in VR, and it's
Yeah.
cool, but like, it just scared the hell out of me. Like, I didn't feel like Batman, or maybe it is scary to be Batman, but it was just constant like scaring stuff coming at you.
And is VR even going anywhere anymore? Because I don't hear anything about it anymore, and I know the PSVR 2 didn't do well either. So
It's on sale. It's on sale right now.
is it on sale? How much do they want? What's sale?
$450.
That's actually not bad. That was in the high 600s.
The PSVR 2. Chris?
Yeah,
$450. Oh,
that's not terrible.
I thought Meta was better. Not is it Meta? What's the other one?
Yeah, it's Meta.
Oh yeah, you're right. I mean,
Oculus.
Oculus. Yeah, there you go. That's the one.
I think the PSVR is technically more powerful, but I think the Meta is better for every other reason because it's wireless. It's
More
got
games.
way more stuff supported on it because everything from the first Meta carried over or the last Meta carried over. Whereas the PSVR, they dumped everything, which is dumb as well.
Yeah, they did. You cannot play.
That's their thing. They just dump everything. They like screw
It's
our
really
past.
annoying. Yeah,
Forward,
it's so
forward
annoying.
only.
But then the game comes out with like 20 games, and that's it. And so then you got to wait. That's a whole thing. Anyway,
All right, sorry. My
but
bad.
is,
All right.
is anything happened to VR? That's what I'm curious about. Does anybody know?
There's not. It's a kind of like Xbox. Like
It's
they
just
have
kinda
shovelware
out,
coming
right?
out. There's
Yeah.
nothing. There's no big. Like the Batman game you talked about. This is the first I've heard of it, and who knows when
Yeah.
that's coming out. Right? There's no
That's
release
kind of
date.
what I was thinking. I was like, really? I'm not even hearing any buzz on VR anymore. Why are they making
No.
a game exclusively for it? Ugh.
The idea is because more people want to play games horizontally. They want to lay down. They want to enjoy their games. I want to come home and enjoy. I don't want to come home to a full-on workout to play my game. I
It
want
is-
to do that.
It is a setup, man. I will admit,
It
because
is.
I have the first one for PlayStation, and it's a whole thing. But I do love it. Like, it's so fun. But golly, you know what? The last thing I did with it, I just watched a 3D movie. Like, I'm gonna lay down, just like you're saying, and I want to be immersed in this movie. So I
Every
found,
opportunity to get horizontal. I'm taking it.
and I fell asleep because it was
Yeah.
Rogue One, and that movie's slow.
Yeah, I agree though. Whenever I have played it in the past, it has been fun, but it is a setup. Unless you
Dude.
have a space for it that you can set up
Yep.
for it permanently, it's going to be a whole process, a good 10-minute process to get everything set up.
Dude,
before you start.
Doom VR or VFR, whatever they call it. Oh my gosh,
God,
it's
I
so
feel like
fun.
that would I feel like you get motion sickness.
You
when
do.
fly around.
Oh,
okay. All right,
it's
cool.
wild.
All right.
But I bought the gun accessory that
course you
works with it, and yeah,
Yeah, of
you
course
you,
you
almost, you almost have to for that kind of game.
Mm.
Well, of course I did. I was not horizontal for that. I had to stand up for like 20 minutes before I got sick. I was like, whoop! I got to sit down and watch a movie.
Oh, my Vita.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if the future is VR, but I think we're about ready to call it here. If you guys are okay with that, anything you want to say, wrap up before we finish off here?
I hope everyone has a great summer, whatever you plan on doing. Beat a video game and go touch grass.
Yeah,
You
touch some
can't do
grass.
both. You can't do both. It's one or the other. You already know that.
That's true.
Could you do VR outside? Could you sit up
I feel like that's dangerous.
What? Yeah.
like in a grass field?
Doing virtual Tai Chi in your front lawn? Like what? Like what is he doing?
Hey, that's the future.
Move yourself right into the street.
All right, so go outside during the day and then play VR at night. Okay, that's my last. That's what I'm going out with.
We all know that your guilty pleasure when it's summertime is to play during the daytime when all the other peasants are at work. Right? I don't want to play at night. I do that all year long. As soon as I get summertime, I want to play during the day while someone's commuting to work. I want to get up at 8 a.m. and play my game while someone's in their car commuting to work, crying before they walk into their office. That's what I want to do.
Well, because when I was working, I did cry in the parking lot right before I walked into that middle school. So,
Lord, give me strength not to choke out one of these children.
I actually just brought my Switch towards the end of the year. I don't know if you remember that. I just started playing Zelda towards the end of the year. I was like, "Yep, I'm subbing. Nobody cares."
Just go into a classroom, kick your feet out.
Hey, don't be too loud. I got to hear all the Korok noises. So,
true gamer, and also
Chris, do you have any last words?
Am I dying? What's going on? What?
This is it.
Wait.
Dude,
what's going on here?
I'll be over there shortly
with the 18 inches of Venom. It's coming.
Oh my god. No. As always, it's a pleasure, fellas, and thank you for bringing me in. I know it's the ongoing joke that I'm the sub when the main star decides to take a hiatus. But I am glad to step in anytime, and it's always a good time just to hang out and talk games with you, fellas. Again, much appreciated. Appreciate you guys. It's always fun. Always fun.
Well said.
Of course, yeah.
Right back at you, man. We love having you.
It's always a blast having you on. I won't deny that. So I will just give a little future update here. I think we're going to be not recording for the next 2 weeks. I think the next 2 weeks will be off. I think our next recording is being planned on. Do you remember? I think the 18th, right? We're recording on the 18th.
Yes.
So that week we'll have another episode up. And also, I apologize for editing our last episode so late. It came out today, when usually it comes out like the day after. But it's just been so the 18th will be the next one. So, but thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Later.
Have a good night.